Hello, YouTube. It's your friend Rufus again. I wanted to come on here and highlight again on federal codes of conduct for U.S. judges. It's kind of part two of federal codes of conduct of the last video I did. And I just wanted to go here to my computer and show. Let me see. Codes of conduct for United States judges. I want to read this. The Code of Conduct for United States judges includes the ethical canons that apply to a federal judge and provides guidance on their performance of office duties and engagements in a variety of outside activities. Okay, last time I was on here, I said there was Canon 1, but it's really Canon 2. I want to scroll up. I apologize for that because I try to be honest. Canon 2 about the law. Okay, here we go. Canon 2. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Respect for the law. A judge should avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety in all activities. Canon 2A. Respect for the law. A judge should respect and comply the law. I'm going to repeat that. A judge should respect and comply with the law and should at all times in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of judiciary. A judge should not allow family, social, political, financial, and other relationships to influence his judicial conduct or judgment. A judge should neither lend the prestige of judicial office to advance the private interests of a judge or other, nor to permit others to convey the impression that they are in a special position to influence a judge. A judge should not testify, voluntarily as a character witness. Okay, what that's saying is that the judge, under these codes of conduct, is supposed to comply with the law. And in my experience, they don't do it, and I can prove it. If you contact me personally, I can take you to the cases that I've been dealing with in federal court, and I give you docket numbers, and I can show you. And I'm just going to particularly speak on the judges in the Western District of New York. I'm not going to speak on other federal judges in other districts because I haven't had no experience with them. But I'm speaking on the judges in the West, the magistrate I've dealt with and the federal judge that I've dealt with. They don't comply with the law. And the Court of Appeals judge I've been dealing with, they don't comply with the law for the Second Circuit. Okay, I'm not speaking on any other circuits. Okay, and this is very personal to me, because my rights are being violated. I'm still going to fight for my rights, though. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight on that. These judges don't follow the law. They should be taken to the Judicial Conduct Commission or the Office of General Counsel, Administrative Office of the United States Thurgood Marshall Building, 1 Columbus Circle, or Judicial Conference. They don't comply with the law. And they should be taken to Congress as well, because they have responsibilities. A lot of them get these positions and they forget their responsibilities. They get big headed. That's just my opinion, and they forget their responsibilities. And when they don't follow the law, I want to scroll up. That's the part I like. When judges don't follow the law. Okay. Here we go. Canon 1. This is Canon 1 right here. A judge should uphold the integrity and independence of the judiciary. An independent, honorary judiciary is indispensable to justice in our society. A judge should maintain and enforce high standards of conduct and should personally observe those standards so that the integrity and the independence of the judiciary may be preserved. I want to repeat that last part. So that the integrity and the independence of the judiciary may be preserved. Okay, so that means that the judiciary is independent from judges, period. Okay, means they have to follow the judiciary. That's just my interpretation of what this is saying. Okay, which means follow the law. Canons are rules of reason. They should be applied consistently with constitutional requirements, statutes, other court rules, and decisional law. This is what I've been dealing with, having problems with these judges following decisional law. And the context of all relevant circumstances. The code is to be construed so it does not impinge on the essential independence of judges in making judicial decisions. Okay, so this is what I've been dealing with. Judges not following decisional law. The U.S. Supreme Court is the supreme authority, okay, of the United States of America. What they say goes like Simon, okay? Lower courts, like the Second Circuit Court of Appeals and District Court, has a responsibility under this statement right here, decisional law, to follow the Supreme Court. Okay, when they don't do that, okay, they violate federal codes of conduct. So I just wanted to just highlight, highlight on that issue, because that's what I've been dealing with. And and just do what you have to do. Take them to Congress, file a district conduct complaint or whatever. These judges have responsibilities. And I'm mostly speaking on federal judges. That's what I've been dealing with. It don't make no sense. These judges use personalities and prejudices. A lot of them help their friends and local governments. What I've been dealing with, this is the one that gets me. If you ain't got no attorney, yes, if you can afford, there's a lot of people that can afford attorneys. They make enough money that they can afford an attorney. When you can't afford an attorney, well, your rights are going to be, a lot of people lose out on their rights because they can't afford no attorney. And that's why there's so much chaos in this country, because people can't afford attorneys. They lose out on their rights. They get angry. They do stupid stuff. You go to the U.S. Supreme Court, they turn down your petition. I feel like this here. When you go to the U.S. Supreme Court, all petitions should be heard. That's just my opinion, but all petitions are serious. If it wasn't serious, it wouldn't make it to the U.S. Supreme Court. I feel like the U.S. Supreme Court, there should be 2 U.S. Supreme Courts at least. I feel like every petition that goes to the U.S. Supreme Court should be heard. That's just my opinion. That's why I feel like the U.S. Supreme Court is partly responsible of so much chaos in this country, because they turn down 75-80% of their petitions. And then people get frustrated. There's no justice. I want to say this, when the founding fathers of this country, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, when they sat down and wrote the Constitution, it wasn't that many people. It was the country wasn't near as big. We only had the East Coast until they did the Louisiana Purchase. History like I do. Only 9 justices of the U.S. Supreme Court was sufficient at that time. We live in the times now where we have a whole big country. This country has quadrupled the people it has since the founding fathers wrote the Constitution. So you need another Supreme Court. That's just my opinion. That's what's going to continue to be. This country is going to continue to be crazy like it is. Because we don't have enough judges. Not enough Supreme Court judges. To review cases. Because I feel like this here, like I said, all U.S. Supreme Court cases should be heard, and they're important, and they're serious, So, it's just, we need to, judiciary needs to grow. Article 3 says the judicial power should be invested in 1 Supreme Court. Okay, but you need to have 18 justices nowadays. For real, you do. Or create a committee, to review the case. I feel like all petitions should be heard. I don't feel like the Supreme Court should turn down every petition. To make it short, every petition should be given due process. By you turning down petitions, you're not giving a due process. That's just my opinion. Due process is evaluating the evidence, let the other party respond, and see who's violating the Constitution. That's just my opinion. This country has to grow. We need 2 U.S. Supreme Courts, and that's something that Congress probably needs to take a look at. You need 9 more justices in this country, because 1 Supreme Court it's just disappointing. It's depressing because 80% of the time they turn down all petitions, and then people's petitions are not heard. Which every petition to the U.S. Supreme Court is serious because it wouldn't make it there if it wasn't. And this is why I personally feel, I'm gonna end this on this note. I personally feel like this is why the Second Circuit Court of Appeals that I've been dealing with don't follow the law. They take advantage of that situation that the U.S. Supreme Court turned down 85% of their petitions. Oh yeah, well, the U.S. Supreme Court's not going to, he doesn't have an attorney and they're not going to review this case, so just throw them to the side, If the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, I'm only going to speak on them because they're the only ones I have dealing with. I'm not going to speak on no other circuits because I haven't had no experience with no other circuit courts. It's like the other circuit courts, they follow the law from my research. But if the Chief Judge of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals knew that every petition to the U.S. Supreme Court will be given due process, okay, if he knew that, he would do a better job than what he's doing now because he's doing a terrible job. I'm not going to say his name. Like I said, I respect people, but I'm talking about the Chief Judge of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. He's doing a terrible job as a judge. If you say the same thing, if you allow your clerks to use your clerks to say the same thing to turn down appeals, then something's wrong with that picture. This case lacks merit. 4 or 5 different times. Come on now, there's something wrong with that picture. But you can't expect if people can't afford to pay the price to appeal, they should be allowed to appeal. And well, I'm done with that part of federal courts. Like I said, I'm making this video. Maybe I'll try to help somebody. But because I'm just saying from my personal experience and what I've been dealing with these courts. And I'm just talking about the courts in my district. A lot of these judges and these appeals judges don't follow the law. And when they don't follow the law, the Congress should know about it, and the Judicial Conference in Washington should know about it. They shouldn't be in that position. The case law I wanted to present before I go was Sure versus Rhodes. In that case law, Sure versus Rhodes, if you look up that case law, it clearly states, the U.S. Supreme Court clearly states that judges, lawyers, governors, okay, if they don't adhere to the supreme authority of the U.S. Constitution, they should be stripped of their official duties. This is from the U.S. Supreme Court. That case is Sure versus Rhodes. I'm going to try to see if I can find it before I leave. Get off this live. Get off this live real quick. Sure versus Rhodes. See if I can punch that up real quick. Yeah, the U.S. Supreme Court was strict about that. And I agree with them. If they can't follow the U.S. Constitution, while you dismissing petitions when there's clearly constitutional violations, you ain't following the Constitution. Simple as that. Here you go, right here. Sure versus Rhodes. I got it on my computer. Sure versus Rhodes. Let me see. Sure versus Rhodes. Let me see. Sure. Here we go. Okay. I love this case law because, this case law clearly states, give me a minute. Let me read this. Ex parte Young teaches that when a state officer under state law in a manner violate federal constitution, he comes in conflict with the superior authority of the U.S. Constitution, and he is in that case stripped of his official representative character and is subject to in person to the consequences of an individual action. Well, this is Sure versus Rhodes, y'all. Sure versus Rhodes, 416 U.S. 232, 1974. Okay, and this applies to all public servants. Okay, you read right there. You see it right here. I love this case law. You know, this case law applies to all public servants. Well, that concludes my video for today. Y'all take care and peace.